I'm out all that money and I don't think I'll ever get it back.
The woman that you're about to meet is a widow who was looking for companionship, but instead she got her heart and her wallet ripped open. She says she was tricked into giving more than $70,000, her life savings, by the way, to a man she met online.
Jennifer Dennis wasn't careless. She wasn't naive. She was a widow looking for something most people take for granted, someone to come home to. What she found instead cost her $70,000, her house, and the life she had spent decades building. We break down how scams like this actually work. Not just what happened, but why it worked, why it was so hard to see, and what the people running these operations know about human psychology that most of us don't. If that sounds like something worth knowing, stay with me on this one. Jennifer Dennis is 76 years old. She lives in Georgia, or she did until a few months ago. She was a widow. That word carries a lot of weight if you've lived it. It means cooking for one. It means the other side of the bed stays made. It means years of shared history with no one left to remember it with you. Jennifer wasn't falling apart. She was getting on with things the way people do. She had a son, Raymond. She had a home. She had $70,000, her life savings, sitting in an account she had been building for years. Not retirement wealth, real money, the kind you don't touch unless something serious happens. She was on Facebook. Millions of people her age are. It's where the photos of grandchildren live. It's where old friends check in. For Jennifer, it became something else. She was looking for companionship, not a transaction, not a fairy tale, just someone to talk to. Someone who showed up in her messages and asked how her day was. That's all it takes.
It all looked legitimate. He was coming back to the States real soon.
His name was Caleb, that's what he said. He reached out to Jennifer on Facebook. His profile said he was a doctor working with the Red Cross in Yemen, a humanitarian, a man saving lives in a war zone. His story was built to make you feel something before you even said hello. He was recently widowed, just like her. He had lost his wife. He understood that particular kind of grief. He was wrapping up his overseas work and planning to come back to the States.
And he was wanting to settle in a new area because he lost his wife.
He wanted to settle somewhere new, start over, the mirror technique. Scammers use it constantly. They reflect your life back at you. You lost someone? So did I. You want something quiet? Me too. You believe in family? Nothing matters more to me. Every detail Caleb shared was chosen. Not randomly, chosen because it matched what Jennifer needed to hear. And for a month it worked. They messaged every day. Jennifer told ABC affiliate WTVD that she grew so close to him that at one point she messaged him, "You're my dream come true." That sentence is important. Not because it's embarrassing, it isn't. It's important because it shows you how complete the emotional connection had become. Jennifer wasn't sending money to a stranger. She was sending money to someone she believed she loved. Then Caleb had an idea, a house. Why not buy one together? For when he came home. He would cover the bulk of it. $600,000. She just needed to put in her share. $70,000 plus $8,700 for expenses. It sounded like a plan two people make together. It sounded like a future.
Seemed like a perfect deal.
She and Raymond packed their things, sold their home in Georgia, and drove to North Carolina. Here's where you have to slow down and walk through what actually happened, because this wasn't one big ask. It never is. Caleb needed $70,000 for the house purchase. He would handle the $600,000. This framing was deliberate. When someone claims they're putting in nearly 10 times what you are, your contribution feels small. Reasonable, like you're getting a deal. Jennifer transferred the money. All of it. Her life savings. The $8,700 in expenses came on top of that. Wire fees, administrative costs, the kind of small, legitimate-sounding charges that keep the transaction feeling real. Wire transfer, if that term isn't familiar, means the money moves directly from your bank account to another account, electronically, and it's gone. There is no hold period. There is no pause. Once it leaves, it leaves. It cannot be recalled the way a check can be canceled or a credit card charge can be disputed. The bank didn't flag this. No alert went off. No manager called Jennifer to ask if she was sure. She was a customer making a legal transaction, and the system treated it that way. Meanwhile, there was no Caleb. There was no Red Cross doctor. There was no house waiting in North Carolina. There was an address, a real house on a real street, that belonged to real people who had no idea their property was being used as bait in a scam. Jennifer and Raymond drove to see it. Raymond knocked on the door. Someone answered. The house wasn't for sale. Someone was living in it.
When I noticed that someone was still living in the house and knocked on the door, I automatically knew that it was a scam.
Raymond knew immediately. Jennifer's son, the same one who had watched his mother fall for this, who had probably hoped he was wrong, stood on a stranger's porch in North Carolina and knew. Quick pause. You're still watching because this story is hitting somewhere real. Maybe you're thinking about your mom, your grandmother, someone who just got a Facebook friend request from someone they don't know. That's exactly why Scam Awareness Hub exists. I'm Noah. If you want to keep seeing these breakdowns, real cases, real psychology, no filler, hit subscribe right now and share this with one person who needs to see it before that message comes. Okay, let me tell you what Jennifer was left with. Jennifer Dennis no longer has a house. She sold it. The home she lived in, the home she and Raymond packed up together, the home that represented decades of stability, she sold it to fund a future that never existed. She and Raymond are now living in a donated camper. Not a downsized apartment, not a rental. A camper, donated by someone who heard what happened to her. The $70,000 is gone. The house is gone. The relationship she spent a month building, the messages, the plans, the dream she told Caleb she'd found in him, none of it was real. The psychological weight of that is hard to describe. It's not just financial loss. It's the dismantling of something you believed in. Jennifer didn't just lose money. She lost the version of the future she had allowed herself to hope for. She had let herself feel something again after grief, and that feeling was manufactured by someone whose job it was to manufacture it. She's reported the incident to the FBI. Whether that leads anywhere is uncertain, but here's what's certain. She is 76 years old. She is living in a camper, and the money she spent her life saving is in the hands of people she will never meet. Jennifer is not an outlier. In 2022 alone, the FTC reported that romance scams cost nearly 70,000 people a combined $1.3 billion. That number has grown every year. The people running these operations are not amateurs acting on instinct. They are organized. Some operate out of call centers in Southeast Asia, West Africa, and Eastern Europe, running multiple relationships simultaneously, trained on scripts that target emotional vulnerabilities in specific age groups. They know that widows are more likely to respond to shared grief. They know that men and women over 60 are more likely to trust someone who presents credentials, a doctor, a military officer, a professional of some kind. They know that the combination of romantic escalation and financial urgency, applied in the right order, produces results. The red flags were there. An expert interviewed by ABC described them precisely. Someone overseas who can only communicate by text or app. A story built around hardship, money requests that come after love is established, and emotional acceleration. The I love you that arrives before you've ever seen each other's faces. Facebook is the entry point for the majority of these scams targeting people over 60. The platform's identity verification is minimal. Creating a profile for a humanitarian doctor named Caleb takes about 4 minutes. And when the money is wired, when it leaves the account, the trail disappears fast. Most of it moves through accounts that are opened and closed within days, converted to cryptocurrency in some cases, and sent overseas before any investigation begins. Cryptocurrency, for those unfamiliar, is digital money that operates outside the traditional banking system. Once converted and sent, it is essentially untraceable and unrecoverable. No institution stopped this. No algorithm caught it. The system that was supposed to protect Jennifer from fraud was calibrated to catch different kinds of fraud, not this kind. Jennifer Dennis reported her case to the FBI. As of the original reporting, she and her son Raymond were living in a donated camper. There's been no public confirmation that the scammer using the name Caleb was identified, charged, or prosecuted. No GoFundMe or public fundraiser for Jennifer has been found in searches conducted for this video. No follow-up report from WTVD or ABC News has surfaced with an update on her financial recovery. As of February 2026, Jennifer Dennis's current situation remains unreported beyond the original story. If you know Jennifer, if you've seen a follow-up, or if there's been any update, leave it in the comments. This community looks out for its own. Jennifer told herself she found her dream. She wrote it in a message. She meant it. The man she sent it to was reading it as a transaction. That gap between what she felt and what was actually happening is what makes this story hard to shake. Because she did everything right by the logic of her situation. She was careful her whole life. She saved. She built something. She raised a son. And when she finally let herself want something again, the people waiting on the other side of that were running a playbook designed for exactly that moment. The money's gone. The house is gone. She's 76, living in a camper, and she filed a report that will probably go nowhere. What she did right was tell her story. Not because she'll get the money back. She probably won't. But because the next Jennifer is out there right now, reading messages from someone named Caleb, letting herself hope. I'm Noah. This is Scam Awareness Hub. If this story made you want to call someone you love and check in on them, do that. And if you want to be here when the next one drops, subscribe. There's another story coming next week that I genuinely did not see coming. I'll see you then.